Welcome back, everybody. Today's week-ending edition of Notre Dame Daily. I'm Pete Mulroy, and to sort of carry over some momentum from yesterday's show into today's, just like Notre Dame's going to do on the recruiting trail for the foreseeable future, I want to talk about just the state of Irish recruiting as it pertains to looking ahead, the 27 class with the 26 class just about to close. Because as strong as the 25 group was, this 26 group has now become a top three class, depending on what ranking outlet you use. And it's really set the table for what the expectations for Irish recruiting are probably going to look like moving forward under Marcus Freeman, and for all the right reasons. And you talk about the 26 window closing with four-star defensive tackle Elijah Golden set to announce on the 26th of this month. Notre Dame remains the leader for his services. Lock up Golden at the end of July, and you're done defensively in the class. Then you can turn your attention to some housekeeping on the offensive side, which basically just concerns tight end Evan Jacobson. We know if he does ultimately commit to Notre Dame, he'd be the third tight end to do so in that 26 class. It's not going to be a failure by any stretch of the imagination if he doesn't. And for what it's worth, just having some conversations, reading some literature, it looks like Jacobson might be leaning Texas A&M at the moment. So we'll see what happens. No announcement date has been set, but we expect it to come in the next few days or weeks, certainly before August. And now that we're mere days away, basically from wrapping up this 26 group, we can look ahead to 2027. The Irish already have significant offers on the table to some major playmakers. Talked about that a little bit yesterday. That includes Julius Jones Jr., who's going to be a big part of this class. He remains a likely get for Notre Dame, given positional need, fit on the depth chart, and because he is a legacy. His dad, Julius Sr., 99 to 03 with a year gap in between, was a star running back for the Fighting Irish. Furthermore, because this 26 recruiting strategy was beyond sound across the board, major recruits in future classes have taken notice of that, folks. And that cannot be understated. You look at someone like an Iowa star corner in Ace Austin, a four-star with great speed, incredible ball skills, picking up an offer from Marcus Freeman and company this week. Stud linebacker Cooper Witten's another one, whose father, Jason, was a Tennessee Volunteer and Dallas Cowboy legend, earned an offer from the Irish in recent time. I spoke on Cooper in previous episodes. This kid is no joke. Plus, when you look at the running back department, despite landing commitments from Javian Osborne and Jonas Walton, two four-stars in this last cycle, Notre Dame's not done at the position, valuing depth and reliability, as we've seen them do, evidenced by the usage of Jeremiah Love, Jadarian Price in recent seasons, as well as getting Aeneas Williams into the mix. The Irish know what it means to have a steady stable of backs. As such, right on cue, 2027 offers to Landon William Callis, a really good-looking player from Randall High in Texas, and another kid who I like, Elijah Kimball from New York, are on Irish radar as already having received offers. You want to look at the quarterbacks and look what Notre Dame's trying to do there? They've pretty much narrowed it down who their top two are going to be. I've talked about Teddy Gerard on past shows, and the same can be said for Peyton Houston. Notre Dame's got it locked in on who they want their slingers to be from a focal standpoint in the 27 group. As such, Gerard and Houston have offers on the table. So overall, thanks to the success of the 25 class, and specifically the 26 unit, recruiting momentum is already there, and it'll continue once this window closes for 2026 in the coming weeks. Obviously, that's probably going to include, we think, because he's the leader in the clubhouse for Notre Dame, Elijah Golden coming aboard. Evan Jacobson, you're asking me, I don't think so, but I would think Notre Dame getting one of those two, specifically Golden, and continuing that recruiting prowess and bulking themselves up the middle, specifically on that defensive line, would be an unbelievable way to close this 26 chapter and then start reading the book that is 2027 and 28. It's going to be fun. I love what the Irish have done, as I think we all have, and I think it really has set the table for what the expectations will be for future classes and how the Irish are going to go about this. Taking a look at more of our freshman players for the 2025 season, Owen Strabig is the guy I want to focus in on today. 6'8", 295-pound O-lineman from Brookfield, Wisconsin, Catholic Memorial High kid, where he developed into a top-ranked recruit in the state and one of the premier offensive linemen nationally. And I've talked about the 25 group that Notre Dame brought in, and for all the right reasons. Strabig is a huge part of that. 3-time All-Conference at Catholic Memorial, 24 Conference Lineman of the Year. He was an All-State player in 2023 and 24, and significantly on an individual basis won the Joe Thomas Award for being the top senior offensive lineman in the state of Wisconsin. That award, of course, is named after former Wisconsin and Cleveland Browns legend Joe Thomas, one of the best to ever do it at the tackle position, and certainly one of the best offensive linemen to ever play in the National Football League, which is saying something. Strabig committed to University of Notre Dame in February of last year, and he chose Notre Dame, like all of the kids in the 25 group did, major offers, and his included USC, Michigan, Wisconsin, so the in-state school gets the bump for the Irish. Penn State was in there, and a slew of others. What I like about Owen Strabig, and you can see this on his film, he brings incredible and impressive toughness. He's also got great length, and these are attributes that'll very much have him in the mix for a starting tackle role in coming seasons, bar none. At this point, his run blocking skills look to be a bit ahead of his pass blocking acumen, though working with Joe Rudolph, who was instrumental in getting him to the Dome, is going to undoubtedly, as we know, help elevate all areas of his game. So you love the size, you love the athleticism, that impressive toughness and length. It's going to serve him well. He's going to be a fun kid to watch develop. As far as this season, his true freshman campaign, the kid's a natural fit at the tackle position. And heading into the season, he'll find himself part of a group that consists of good returning vets in Anthony Knapp, Emil Wagner, your bookends most likely to start the season at left and right tackle, respectively. Gerby Lambert, I know the fan base is jacked up to see him. He was a high recruit in his own right coming to South Bend. So he's got some guys at the tackle positions that he can learn from, which is always essential. And oh, by the way, you talk about that group he came in with, Will Black, if Notre Dame's trying to get creative with its offensive line, you have the theory that exists that Will Black may take on the starting left tackle position as a true freshman. Maybe that kicks Anthony Knapp inside to left guard. I don't think at this point before the fall camp and then obviously August 31st rolls around with Miami that is all that realistic at the moment. But you've got some damn good talent in this class. That's the point I'm trying to make. Will Black, a huge part of that. Cam Herron and Matty Augustine. These are all guys I've discussed in recent days, depending on who you are. And if you go based on star rankings, Will Black is the gem of the class. So for his freshman year, from my seat in the arena, I expect Strabig to continue to refine his pass pro as he works toward elevating that overall game to the level anticipated during his recruitment. So he may not have come in with the pizzazz of a Will Black, but he was ranked as one of the top tackles, not just in the state of Wisconsin, which he obviously was, but all of America for that 2025 recruiting window, which is significant. The kid's going to be an essential part of Notre Dame's offensive line in coming seasons. And here's the kicker. His willingness to learn the guard position in order to give himself more consistent opportunities to step foot on the field is something you absolutely love if you're the Irish. You have that duality there where guys can bounce from position to position. So you go from tackle to guard or from guard to center and play both. For Strabig, natural tackle, but if you're able to take on the role of learning the guard position, so if it came down to it, they, meaning the Irish coaching staff and Joe Rudolph and Marcus Freeman especially, would be comfortable in throwing you out there. Huge deal. And that's something that will pay dividends and something that you can develop during a freshman year like this. Could he wind up on the two deep on the depth chart? Absolutely. But I think while a lot of these guys develop, doesn't mean they're not going to play. But I think someone like a Strabig, and I mentioned Cam Herron as far as the future, and obviously Will Black, you're looking at guys that can bookend certain positions and be staples at a given position. And that's the future here that includes Strabig, Cam Herron, and Will Black. I'm excited about all of them. And again, if you see Strabig on the two deep this year, it's going to be most likely at tackle. But the goal as a freshman is going to be to refine his overall game. Be able to step in if needed, but development is the key during this upcoming season. for Owen Straybeek. But you love to have a kid like this because it just shows what you have depth-wise in the seasons to come. That's why high school recruiting is still very significant, even in the age of the portal and NIL. Wrap up today. Notre Dame's on its media circuit. Various conference media days are taking place across college football. You've probably seen the SEC days flip across your various cable channels. Well, Notre Dame taking part across New York City. So for guys like me and those of you who watch the program who might be in the New York, New Jersey, Connecticut area, you will be able to see out different opportunities involving members of the Notre Dame football team. You know, this is something I grew up around this. You know it by now. That the NYC area always has an incredible pulse and support for Notre Dame, the University of Notre Dame, and Notre Dame football. That's no different now, especially coming off a 14-2 campaign and a berth in the national title game. Expectations and excitement are through the roof. So along with Marcus Freeman, tight end Eli Raridan, Emil Wagner will be out there, Jordan Faison, Jeremiah Love, Leonard Moore, and Adon Schuler are all set to feature in the Big Apple for Media Week as Notre Dame takes the football team to the Big Apple. This is another showcase for the football program, and one that is well-deserved given the platform Freeman has created during his time in South Bend. I didn't see anything of an official schedule of events, if you will, but you can expect to see plenty of Irish stars this week if you live across the area. If not, national TV appearance, social media posts from the city that never sleeps will certainly have our attention as, again, the Irish prepare to open the season August 31st in Coral Gables against the longtime hated rival, Miami Hurricanes. That'll put a wrap on this week's editions of Notre Dame Daily and this Friday edition as well. I'm Pete Mulroy. As always, I hope you have a great week. Have a great weekend. I'm going to try to get out and play well in this two-man golf tournament I got coming up. So we'll see how that goes as I try to refine my game. But as always, I hope you have a great week, and go Irish.